Hey folks, are you guys just thinking about doing some backyard birds, some backyard chickens for yourself, maybe raise your own meat birds, your own turkeys, or your own chickens for eggs, and, some friendly pets to help get rid of some of those ticks and chiggers and anything else that creepy crawls on the ground? Well, I'm here to help you guys take out some of the frustration. Now, if you notice these feeders are colorful, you might have to teach them where the food is and where the water is, and the simplest way to do it is by mimicking a beak and just going down here like so and just pecking at it. And you do that, it'll usually show them where the food is. And you do the same thing where the water is. You might even have to dip their beak into the water for them to actually see. Now, just the very tip of the beak, not all the way up to the nostrils. So, anyway, with that being said, that's why 90% of all your baby chick feeders, all the bases are red, because chicks and chickens and ducks and turkeys are all attracted to the color red. So therefore, they will peck at anything red naturally. So that really helps guide them towards the water and the food source. And when it comes to chicks, you get one of these lights at Tractor Supply. It's a red light here, and basically, I would recommend keeping it about this high, or the height of a 5-gallon bucket. Here, here, and then here, and it actually keeps it to about 83 degrees inside the brooder. Now, the problem with having the brooder at such a warm temperature is that your chicks will hold on to the baby down feathers a little longer and not feather out as quickly. So if you're really looking to get them out of the room that they're in and into the actual coop, I would actually suggest letting the brooder temperatures be in the high 60s, such as 69, low 70s, 70, 71, 72. If you have it around that temperature, they'll start feathering out a little quicker. That tends to be what I've been understanding about these guys for the past decade or so. We do have some turkeys. We have some Starlight Green Eggers and some Buff Orpingtons. If you don't know which one the Buff Orpingtons are, you can see the size of these big guys here. 1, 2, and this is a turkey. And how can you tell a turkey from a chicken? I'll show you. Come here, guy. These guys are really friendly. They don't mind being picked up. But you can see the turkey has a little tiny bump on his head. That's where that little worm-looking thing, where the gobbler comes down off of it. You can see the actual little lumpy thing on top of its head. And that actually helps it attract a mate when it's a male. Females, they don't really get that long. But anyway, if you guys are thinking, gee, what about adult birds? What in their adult? Do I need a heat source? Well, if you live in an area where you know it's going to be in the low teens or single digits, I would recommend putting a light in for the adults. I wouldn't put chicks out at that temperature, even if their brooder is heated, just because the ground absorbs a lot of the heat. And not just that, but the ambient air around it will be cooler, and so will the outside of the container. But when it comes to adult birds, the best thing I could imagine doing is putting a infrared light in there to help the heat travel up as they're up on the rafters, letting them get heat from the underneath side. But when it comes to their crops, like your turkey, and you want to maintain that crop look, that beautiful, typical standard turkey bird or rooster look, you could coat the gobblers or the combs in Vaseline, and that'll help protect them from the cold, and it'll stop it from turning black and falling off. And then basically what happens when it turns black, the hens will start pecking at it and start ripping the comb open, which I ran into twice in the past 10 years. So once again, there's really, you got to understand that red attracts chickens. So if you have to cut your rooster spur, and you cut too far, and you have to use a septic pencil, just make sure that it's always cleaned up and it's not red, because if it's red, the hens will peck him to death basically, and keep pecking at it and pecking at it and pecking at it and making it bleed constantly, and really doing a number on your roosters. So other than that, when it comes to brooding these guys, they're real simple. The reason why we got Buff Orpingtons is because they are extremely motherly. We like to call it broody. So they'll turn around and they'll actually grab other chickens' eggs and form a clutch of anywhere from 8 to I've had 15 eggs underneath the chicken. So Just remember that certain breeds will not like to be motherly. They won't like to lay on eggs to hatch them. So if you're looking to be more sustainable, look into certain breeds of chickens that are really good for sustainability. Ones that are motherly, like Silkies or Buff Orpingtons. There's another breed out there. I believe it starts with a C. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to say it. Um, anyway, that's the main scoop on having your first start of your backyard chickens. Just make sure that you have at least a good 2 to 3 inches worth of shavings to allow them, because they will dig down, and plus it'll help them forage and start gaining the skills necessary to become free range if that's what you choose to do.